Guys, we're here for part 2 of our Fit Fam update for Wellness Wednesdays. So I'm here with Stacey Barta, our registered dietitian from HEB. So we've got a couple of topics. So let's just start with kind of what we were conversating about earlier, which is the whole body, right? So at F45, we believe in, it's not just working out to lose weight, but it's for entire fitness and wellness and eating right and that kind of stuff. So walk us through kind of your thoughts and tips on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love that y'all aren't focused just on the scale, and y'all are focused on how do I feel, make my body feel good, how do I gain muscle, how do I prepare my body for all the things that it needs to face out in the real world. HEB Nutrition Services has a similar mindset. We are kind of an all foods fit. So we're never going to tell you can't have a food, unless there's a medical reason why you can't. We think everything in moderation. We can make any kind of food fit into your diet. Because we're similar. We want to make people feel confident. We want to make nutrition and eating sustainable. If you want to, if I take away all of your carbs, that's not going to be something you can, do forever. So we're here for lifestyle changes, life changes, and sustainability. So I love that we're working with you all because y'all are on a similar page. And we were just talking about the challenge that y'all are undergoing right now, right? And y'all aren't tracking necessarily weight, right? You're tracking, calories per muscle mass, things like that. Is that correct?
Right. Body fat percentage loss.
Yes, and I love that because there's a lot of things that we call non-scale victories at HEB. I don't know if y'all have probably similar terminology, but things that you can track that aren't necessarily the scale. Because the scale is going to not be the best unit of measure, as we both know, to track progress, because you can gain muscle and that can make the scale go up. How are your clothes fitting? Are you eating more vegetables? Are you drinking more water? Is your sleep better? All of those are great ways to measure your progress than just looking at the scale. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and how how on board we are with y'all's similar vision and mentality when it comes to working out and lifestyle.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was talking to a member earlier, she was like, "Oh, you look like you've lost some weight." I'm like, "Oh, the scale says I gained 4 pounds." And I'm like, I feel bad about it, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. But, as long as people tell me I look better, I guess that's okay. So I think, all right, here's a fun one. How to bacon.
How to bacon.
See, that's America's favorite food, my favorite food.
It is. So what you can do, a trick when you're doing bacon is bacon's going to be a processed meat, right? It's going to be higher in sodium. It's going to be higher in saturated fat. You could do something like turkey bacon if you want some.
Turkey bacon is terrible. Nobody eats turkey bacon. All the people out there, nobody's eating turkey bacon, are you? You shouldn't be eating it. It's disgusting.
Okay. Yes, I prefer the real bacon. But a trick for the real bacon though is you can take one of those what is it called? Like a
cooling rack.
Yeah, cooling rack that you use for baking. Set it on, your cookie sheet. I would put a like aluminum foil or something underneath to make easy cleanup. And then you actually bake your bacon on top of that cookie sheet, and so then all the fat will drip off of it. So you have a little bit lean, or you're getting a little bit of that fat off of your bacon. Certainly there is still going to be some on there because it is, a processed meat. But that's one way you can cook it. And I've also heard that it comes out, really good texture when it comes out of the oven too.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do as well. The other thing I would say, because there's no popping, right? So the other thing I would say is center cut bacon, obviously, because there's a lot more meat in a center cut bacon than just the traditional, right, low grade bacon.
Yeah, and again, the sodium is also going to be another thing. So if you're doing something like bacon, and you're trying to watch your sodium, I would just really watch your portion sizes with that.
Okay. Uncured bacon, maybe? I don't know. Is that a thing? Is there a low sodium?
There's probably a lower sodium bacon. It may, again, if you're not a big fan of turkey bacon, I don't know if you go for the...
Oh, I don't mind pork belly, right? So you can do straight pork belly. It's just as good as bacon. I don't mind either one of those, right? The problem is that people go, let's eat turkey bacon.
No, I get you.
Turkey bacon, what's that, beef bacon? No, I don't know what that is. I mean, for the folks that don't eat pork, I understand, but if you're generally a bacon purist. So let's talk about the other thing, heavy cream. So I was talking to a member today and just kind of discussing, okay, well, how's your diet coming along? She said, well, part of our diet, South Asian diet requires heavy oily foods, heavy creams, that kind of stuff, right? So how do you, alternate some of those things?
Yeah, so what you can do is, again, it's going to depend on what you're cooking because obviously one sub for everything isn't, there isn't necessarily one substitute for all of the things you're cooking with heavy cream, but using some kind of like Greek yogurt or something with a little bit more fuller fat. I wouldn't probably do like a 0% milk fat Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, but doing something like that is going to add creaminess, but it's not going to add a whole lot of fat. I would also maybe try, instead of substituting, all of it, instead of not adding any heavy cream, maybe do like half and half. That way you're still getting some of the texture of the heavy cream, but you are decreasing the amount of, that amount that you're using. And that Greek yogurt's going to provide some extra protein in there too. So make sure you get plain, don't get like any crazy flavor, because that's gonna, like vanilla, I've taught vanilla by accident when I'm trying to sub for plain, and it didn't turn out nearly as good. So just make sure you're watching that.
I don't think a vanilla yogurt inside of a curry would taste very good.
Yeah, I would be mindful of that. But yeah, try Greek yogurt and give that a go. I think that could be a great substitute. And again, you're getting a little bit more protein because of the Greek yogurt, and the fat probably is going to be a little bit less too than your heavy cream.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about red wine, white wine versus vodka.
So, if you drink alcohol, many people are surprised to find out that if you drink alcohol, the recommended servings of alcohol per day is going to be 1 drink for women and 2 drinks per men. And that's if you drink alcohol. So, do you know what a serving of like wine is? Like what a serving is considered? Like how many ounces?
I don't know, half a bottle.
It's going to be 4 to 5 ounces. It's going to be considered a serving size of wine.
How many ounces are in the bottle? Because it goes by ml. See, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
See, the serving size is like by ml. I don't know what it is.
So there's 237 mils in a cup, so 240, so like what, 120 mils in about 4 ounces. So. Okay. 120 mils. You're the math guy.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, anyways, 4 to 5 ounces is going to be a serving size for a glass of wine. We like sometimes be mindful of that. Let's see, in a serving size, for not half a bottle. For a beer, it's going to be 12 ounces, so just your typical, like bottle of beer. And then for any kind of hard liquor, it's going to be 1.5 ounces. Okay. So, all of that, and again, women, it's recommended 1 drink or less per day, and then men, 2 drinks per lesser day. And as my college professor told me, you can't save up all of your drinks for the weekend. I remember my nutrition professor telling us that you can't say if you're a woman like me, you can't drink all 7 on Saturday night. So it doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So 1 per day. Honestly, you'll probably, if you
So you're telling us to drink every day.
if you choose to drink alcohol, I will limit it to 1 per day, or 2 per day, 2 or less per day if you're.
Okay, all right. So we're working towards the end of the challenge. I'm sure there are people who've been working out 7 days a week, sometimes 8 days a week, 8 times a week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some people 8 times a week. Yeah, for sure. So lots of aches, pains, soreness. What are some ways outside of just water? What can we do to take away some of those things?
Yeah. So first, make sure you're getting enough. After your workout, you're getting some kind of fuel in. Chocolate milk, you probably heard, is a great way to do that. It has a great ratio of carbohydrates and protein. Our chocolate Utopia is great too because it has a little bit more protein per serving. So do some of that. Also, fruits and vegetables. Those are going to have all of your good vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, and some of those antioxidants actually have some anti-inflammatory properties. So by incorporating those into your diet, you can actually possibly help with some of the inflammation, and that's just by adding more color to your plate. Omega-3 fatty acids can also help with some inflammation, possibly. Again, this is all food-based. I wouldn't, without talking to your doctor or your dietitian, would ever recommend going and taking a supplement without consulting your medical team. But getting in some of those, some walnuts or some salmon into your week, or
berries, lots of berries. Yeah,
berries are going to be higher in antioxidants. Flax seeds and chia seeds are also going to have some of those omega-3s. So all those are all good ways. Just a nutrient-dense, colorful diet is going to be, an easy and economical way to kind of help with that inflammation, because we all know supplements can add up very quickly.
Yeah. So I think as shout out to our comrades in Pearland, F45 trainer in Pearland West, always just get your berries. So. And
berries are going to actually contain a ton of fiber per serving. So that's another way. Fiber is going to be good for our heart health, our digestive health. It helps us keep us simple. So, great to add to salads, to smoothies, to snack on your own. You can add some chocolate hummus to them. I like to eat frozen berries after dinner as some kind of like sweet treat. And I'll add some HEB chocolate hummus, which if you haven't tried, you should. So yeah.
Chocolate hummus, fellas and ladies. That's a weird one.
It's odd. It sounds crazy, but it tastes like chocolate frosting. People have also compared it to brownie batter. Give it a try.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Last one. Let's talk about oils, right? Mm-hmm. So we finished last segment with oils. Let's do this other one with oils. A tablespoon of vegetable oil is how many calories?
Probably about 120 calories, somewhere in there.
Okay. And so if I had said I want to eat 10 things of fried fish, chicken nuggets or whatever, right? It's probably quite a bit of oil in that, and probably more than 1 tablespoon.
Because when you're actually frying the food is going to absorb some of the oil. That's another how that works kind of.
Okay.
So that's kind of why frying. We encourage things like baking or boiling or grilling, because that's the way you're not actually cooking the food in kind of a fat. The fat is of the or cooking it, those ways you're going to absorb less of the fat. When you get into things like frying, the food's going to absorb some of that unsaturated or saturated fat, which then therefore increases the calories. And even if you're doing something like unsaturated fat, you can always have too much of a good thing, right? We don't want to go overboard in how much fat we're consuming, because fat is calorie dense, right?
Yeah. So by a volume percentage, think about 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. What does that equate to in like a food?
Ooh, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. 120 calories. You're comparing it to a food. 1 tablespoon of our HEB spreadable balance is going to be like 80 calories. And so that is going to be our a vegetable oil spread. That's lower in saturated fat too. So you can kind of compare it to that. I'm trying to think of what else.
Avocado.
Ooh, avocado. I have to check up on that because I told you a number earlier, but I want to make sure that that's correct.
Okay.
What else? 120 calories is going to be. I'll have to come back to you on that one. Of what other kind of things what other fats are going to be? What volume is going to be 120 calories?
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you soon again, and we'll catch up next.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. Y'all have a great day.